Here's your fully written script. There's a moment in live television when even the most seasoned presenter goes quiet. Not from lack of words, but from the weight of what they're about to say. That's exactly what happened when Bradley Walsh stepped in front of the camera and delivered news that nobody in the audience was fully prepared to hear. If you've been following ITV's daytime programming, you'll know that Good Morning Britain has built its reputation on surprise. Whether it's a heated political debate that spirals into chaos, a guest interview that takes a deeply unexpected turn, or a presenter moment that nobody in the production team planned for, the show has a way of creating television that people talk about for days. But what Bradley Walsh brought to the conversation recently was something different entirely. Something more personal. And for the fans who have followed this story since the very beginning, it landed like a gut punch. To understand why this moment carries so much weight, you need to understand the relationship that British television audiences have formed with both Bradley Walsh and the character of Donna Noble. Walsh, best known to millions as a beloved game show host, a comedian, and a fixture of British entertainment for 3 decades, has always occupied a unique space in public affection. He's the kind of presenter who can make a studio audience feel like they're sitting in his front room. Warm, unpredictable, and always a few seconds away from either a brilliant punchline or a genuinely touching moment of sincerity. That combination is rare. It's why viewers tune in when he speaks. And when he appeared on Good Morning Britain to address the future of Donna Noble, the iconic Doctor who Companion originally brought to life by Catherine Tate and one of the most celebrated characters in modern British science fiction, it wasn't just entertainment news. For a significant portion of the viewing audience, it was the closing of something that had been quietly reopened after years away. What Walsh confirmed, and what his tone made abundantly clear, was that the chapters surrounding Donna's story in recent Doctor Who history has now, by all accounts, been written to its conclusion. The emotional beats of his announcement spoke volumes. This wasn't a clip from a press junket or a quote extracted from a radio interview. This was a man who clearly has deep affection for the material, for the creative team involved, and for the fans who invested so much emotion into this particular narrative arc, delivering news that he knew would sting. The reaction from viewers was immediate, and it wasn't the kind of reaction that fades overnight. Across ITV's social platforms and in the wider conversation happening on UK entertainment forums, the response was a mixture of genuine sadness and that particular type of resigned acceptance that fans of long-running British television have learned to carry. People weren't angry. They were reflective. There's a difference, and it's an important one. Anger suggests betrayal. Reflection suggests love. What's particularly compelling about this story from a broadcasting perspective is the platform Walsh chose, or was given, to make this announcement. Good Morning Britain occupies a specific and influential slot in the British media landscape. It's a show that reaches millions of viewers who are starting their day, making tea, getting children ready for school, half-watching, while doing a dozen other things. And yet it consistently manages to cut through the ambient noise of morning television and produce moments that people actually stop for. Bradley Walsh speaking about Donna Noble was one of those moments. The production team at ITV will be well aware of what they captured. In an era where daytime television is fighting harder than ever for relevance against streaming platforms, social media content, and fragmented viewing habits, a genuine emotional moment from a credible presenter on a beloved topic is television gold. It generates the kind of organic engagement that no marketing budget can buy. There's also a wider conversation happening here about how British television handles the endings of beloved character journeys. The creative decisions around Donna Noble since her return have been discussed at length by fans and critics alike. Some felt the resolution to her storyline was everything they'd hoped for. Others felt it left threads unresolved or moved too quickly past moments that deserved more time. Walsh didn't wade into that particular debate during his Good Morning Britain appearance, but his manner, the warmth, the slight heaviness behind his words, suggested he understands why people feel what they feel. It's worth noting that announcements like this one rarely happen in isolation within television broadcasting. When a prominent presenter appears on a show of Good Morning Britain's standing to discuss the conclusion of a major character arc in a flagship BBC drama, it signals something beyond mere publicity. It signals that the people involved understand the cultural weight of what they're talking about. Walsh's appearance felt less like a promotional moment and more like a moment of acknowledgement, a nod to the audience that says, "Yes, we know this matters to you, and we want to handle it properly." For fans who grew up with Donna as their defining Doctor Who companion, or who came to her story later and found in her a character unlike any they'd encountered in science fiction before, this announcement represents a kind of grief that is entirely unique to television fandom. It's the grief of endings, of doors closing, of knowing that a particular version of a world you love will not be revisited again. Bradley Walsh, standing on the Good Morning Britain set with the easy presence of a man who has spent his career making difficult things feel human, gave that grief somewhere to land. Where does Good Morning Britain go from here? The show will continue as it always does, finding new stories and new moments to build around. But this particular morning, this particular exchange, has added another entry to the list of television moments that the program can point to as evidence of why it still matters. Not because of controversy or conflict, but because it gave people something real. As for Bradley Walsh, his ability to carry moments like this one without either diminishing them or overplaying them is a reminder of why he remains one of the most versatile and trusted figures in British broadcasting. He didn't need a dramatic monologue. He didn't need to perform emotion for the camera. He just spoke plainly about something that clearly matters to him, and in doing so, gave millions of viewers the permission to feel what they were already feeling. Television doesn't always earn those moments. When it does, they're worth talking about. That's where we are with this story, and if you want to keep up with every development coming out of Good Morning Britain and the wider world of UK television, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss a moment. Drop your thoughts on Bradley's announcement in the comments below, because based on the response we've already seen, there's a lot to say about this one. And if this video hit you in the feelings, the like button is right there. We'll see you in the next one.